Alrighty, let's do more Tier Zero Abyssal runs, showing people how to make simple ISK. So this is a Corax fit. I'm relying on rockets again, and the ballistic control system, shield tank, very usual and casual and regular stuff. Now, some might ask, like, why rockets, why not missiles? And the reasoning is somewhat simple. First off, rockets have more damage. Rockets have less range, but in the T0 Abyss it's not an issue. Everything dangerous will quickly fly up to you, or you will fly up to it. This one having the micro outer can fly up to it by itself. And yes, I'm doing Dark Abyss as well, just to fly even faster. I have a bunch of rockets with me, but I actually only use the rage rockets because everything else is a meh. They do have the least range, but with the modules fit to the ship, my range is good enough to hit anything that I will meet in there. It takes maybe a little bit of strategy on some ships, but in general it's very straightforward and very easy, and also so far it has been super safe. So the first room, Devoted Hunter, is like is a good demonstration of how we can approach that guy. Maybe if your tank is a little bit of less, you want to circle in a bit more, like in a radius, not fly straight at the guy. At this point, this ship really doesn't care. Yes, we get strong hits from it, but we hit harder. And that's pretty much it. With the Devoted Hunter, you want to get up close, so it wouldn't be doing to you those annoying breaking shots that can steal a lot of hit points. And yeah, although our shield is dropping, we are not really concerned because the Devoted Hunter is gone. So that was this guy. And Devoted Hunter and Skybreaker Disparu are like two of the strongest opponents that you have in T0 anyway. So if you can just grab them like this, then it's it's easy game. Not bad loot at all. I mean, anything above 500k from a room is a good loot in this tier. You can see that our shield is already bouncing back by the time that we jump the gate. We also don't have any special shield boosters or anything with us. We just rely on the buffer tank, because like in majority of the rooms you don't really take a lot of damage, and there is no point to invest into a booster in this setup. In the Dark Abyss, the opponents have reduced range, and we use this against Damavik. So Damavik will hit you nicely, I think, here like from around 7 or 6 kilometers. And if you're actually circling the cache at like 7.5 kilometers, the Damavik tends to do a funny thing. It zigzags in and out from its own optimal range, and it actually loses the range on you. So the usual damage spool up that the Damavik has, it will break, because by itself it flies out of the range if you have this kind of radius on yourself around the cache. So that's my suggestion there. Orbit the cache at 7.5 and just see how the Damavik plays a fool and goes in and out of its own range. I mean, you see, like we gained more hit points from this room than we lost, because the Damavik failed to actually hit us. Yeah, this build overall is pretty boring, but it makes really good ISK. We are in the third room by now. Yet another Damavik. We have the same strategy here. Just orbit the cache. The Damavik will follow us. We will shoot the rockets at the Damavik. For a moment it might sling out of our range, but we don't really care actually. Most of the time the Damavik stays just close enough to be hit by our rockets, but just far enough so it can't hit us by itself. And you can see it's zigzagging God knows where. It's like burning towards you, but because you are turning away, it flies past you. Because Tamavik by itself has a crazy speed. I don't know if it's like 3 or 4 kilometers per second in here. It just can't turn at this rate, so you can see like it can't get into range. And yeah, once again, like we exit this room with more hit points than we had when we entered it. So this is awesome, easy stuff, right? Just grab the loot and get out. Yeah, always try to remember to reload your missiles. I mean, you won't die with this fit, it's next to impossible, but you want to just make the next places faster. When you exit the abyss, you want to move away just a little bit, so the tethering timer will start to tick down if you need to tether to something. Otherwise this timer will be stuck. I don't know if that's a feature or a bug, but yeah, it is what it is. I would also advise not to sit in the same place for the next abyssal room, because people will scan you down and eventually come for you. So you probably want to hop around actually in the space, but just for the purpose of this video I didn't bother to, so I will just jump into the next room. Let's see what's in here. Okay, so they tell us you want to orbit the cache again, but this time closer, because they have a better like turning mechanism than the Tamavik, so the 7.5 kilometer orbit will not benefit you, but the 2.5 will, because you will be turning so fast that they will have aiming problems. Usually the closest one flies up to you, the other ones fly past you and get lost or something, so you can easily take down one of the guys before any of the others even start to do anything proper. And yeah, with the rockets you never miss once you're close enough, so you can just safely assume that you have the GPS advantage. Here I had aim on the wrong guy, the guy that got lost, so I changed my target. And yeah, the Teslas, they just drop like flies. They are not really serious opponents to you. They just take a little bit of time because there is like 3 of them in this room. But no danger whatsoever. As long as you do this like strategy, don't sit still or don't try to fly away from them in a straight line, because then they will have like perfect aim at you. But this little orbit around the cache will keep you nice and safe. And yeah, half a mil again. Nice. The loot in these runs so far has been actually pretty nice. On average I think I get like 1.4 mil per one abyss site, so that's like 430k per room on the average. The nice thing is that the dark tranquil filaments are cheap, and the rage rockets are also very cheap. So with the Lucid Escort you can like orbit the guy at 10, and then a funny thing happens that it's actually pretty happy to sit at 10 kilometers from you and try to shoot you, but it will miss a lot. If you get closer, the Lucid Escort will start to hit you very well, and then stuff gets annoying, because then it actually will do damage to, I mean, not dangerous damage, but still, if you can avoid damage, you should, right? But if you are like at 10-11 kilometers, then it's constantly missing, so you can safely do this orbit around the Escort itself, just to take it down. Yeah, gone. Again, we come out from this almost unharmed. Compared to the Devoted Hunter and the Skybreaker, this bar, anything else is usually very easy. There's also the Attacker Disparo troop, which shoots rockets at you, and since you have the MWD, you will have a huge signature radius, so you will get hit, but again, like your buffer is so big, they will never take you down. Like unless you run out of rockets, you will win every fight, even if you have lower skills. And yeah, this room is again Tesla, so that's easy. Same strategy as before, just orbit the cache closely and shoot the closest Tesla first, the other one will follow a little bit later. Technically, if you don't have Tech 2 weapon set, you can also use the Tech 1 rocket launchers, but then you should use the Navy ammo, the like faction ammo that you can buy. It will be a lot more expensive for the ammunition side, but actually the DPS applied will not be that different. So you will just spend a little bit more on the ammunition, but you will still win the fights. I don't think there is a way like as long as you have more like 140, 150 DPS, you will just cruise through these sites. And the disc per hour is definitely better than any kind of newbie mining or anything. So if you can fly a Corax and you don't mind the boredom of all of this, then yeah, sure thing, go ahead, do the Abyssal sites.